We live in a world so depraved of happiness, and in order to stand amongst the fire, we have to make this mental switch. We have to be joyous in spite of the wickedness and the evil that surrounds us. We have to be willing to fight and put our lives on the line, knowing that we have eternal presence outside of our flesh. And in this manner, this is how we garner joy. Joy in spite of hardship, of turmoil. And in today's video, we are going to get into that. In a world filled with tragedy and turmoil, it's incredibly important to hold your joy and hold your head up high. Having this level of optimism amongst the tragedy is incredibly beneficial and integral for holding your own, for improving yourself, for improving your family, your friends, and the broader society around you. Society currently teaches us that depression, cynicism, nihilism are mature and wise, but it couldn't be more of the opposite. In today's video, we are going to be covering the joy of Christ, how orientating ourselves towards Christ gives us joy, how it should give us joy, and why it is so important to remain joyous amongst all the wickedness and evil that we are surrounded by. To begin with, joy could be conceptualized as the overflow of union with God or with the divine or with what is harmonious. You could use the word God in many different ways, and you could substitute the word God with many different things. So this isn't one word fits all. This isn't one religion fits all. In this video, this is very metaphysical, metaphorical, and broad. So it could be applicable for your individual life. But to begin with, joy is the overflow of union with God. Joy is not emotion. Joy is what radiates off of your being and off of your soul when your identity is merged and synchronized with divine order. Joy is obtainable for everybody. It's just a matter of being open, and it is a matter of having that open heart posture to receive those inhabitable spirits. In this case, it's joy. In a lot of ways, joy is a perspective switch, just like switching from nihilism to optimism or atheism to faith. A lot of the time, it's a perspective switch and a mental switch. Christ was not joyful because he was soft. Christ was joyful because he was one with the Father. He was one with Source. And this gets into the alignment with the divine order that I'm talking about. Christ was so one with the Father, in his words, that everything fleshly, everything of this world is incredibly surface level when you have that perspective. Your internal life is magnificent. When you have this assurance that your eternity is going to be plentiful and peaceful, this gives you leverage to go in and inhabit the spirit of joy. Joy flows the way that light flows from a flame, naturally, effortlessly, and continuously. When your will aligns with what is divine and harmonious, you step into the same atmosphere that Christ walked in. A soul held by God cannot be shaken. A soul chosen by God cannot fear the world. This is why joy appears when resistance dissolves, why alignment creates radiance, and why joy signals who you are living in God's radiance instead of the world's fragmentation. Joy is the strength of spiritual warfare. Joy is such a tool that is able to be leveraged for our utilization. Joy is one of the most powerful inhabitable spirits that we are able to envelop our souls in. Just like nihilism, just like skepticism, just like depression. All of these are inhabitable spirits that come with their own side effect profile, consequence profile, etc. The main question is, what spirits, what traits, what emotions would you like applied onto yourself? Joy is majorly a weapon. Joy innately disarms darkness, wickedness, and what is evil. The joy of the Lord is your strength, not discipline, not determination, but joy. Joy is spiritual defiance, the refusal to let darkness dictate your internal weather. A joyful person is dangerous specifically because he or she walks like somebody who is already victorious. Joy collapses demonic influence, and joy becomes spiritual armor in this way. Joy tells the kingdom of darkness, I already know who wins. It's a level of guarantee. It's a level of inevitability. Joy comes from knowing the ending of your destiny, of your legacy, and of your life. Joy forms from this theological certainty. The soul knows how the story ends. For example, Christ endured the cross because he saw the resurrection. He walked towards death, already knowing that he was victorious. Joy is not tied to the moment. Joy is tied to the final chapter, the final destination. You and I are called to be joyful because our ending is not uncertain. Heaven and the eternal connection to Source is guaranteed. Eternity in this way is sealed for us. Joy grows in an individual basis when you anchor your identity in the ending, when you meditate on eternity until the present loses its sting, and when you expand your perspective until God's sovereignty replaces fear. So why is joy evidence of the Holy Spirit? Joy is not self-produced. Joy is a fruit. This is proof that the Spirit lives inside of you. Joy is the signature of the indwelling Spirit. Happiness reacts, but joy stays still. Joy is the quiet glow of a person's soul that has become a vessel for God's presence. But when joy fades, the Spirit has not. The connection simply just needs refreshing. Joy returns when you invite the Spirit daily. It's when you create inner stillness for Source to envelop, and when you clear the blockages, shame, sin, noise, the suffocation of joy gets destroyed. Joy is the natural expression of a life that is redeemed. A redeemed soul radiates joy because it remembers what it was rescued from. Joy is the breath of somebody who understands redemption. You were not repaired, but you were reborn. In a lot of ways, a joyless Christian is a free prisoner still standing in the cell, and we are called to step out of that cell, walk into the breeze of freedom, and live like someone that the King rescued, because that is exactly who you are. Joy erupts when you reflect on your rescue, when you reflect on how far you have come. Just take a second and look back. You've actually made an immense, intangible amount of progress, but it just doesn't seem like it because it is your mental perspective. It doesn't seem like it right now, but in hindsight, it truly has come to fruition. When you live like the redeemed instead of the condemned, and when you express gratitude until joy becomes your default posture, this is how you completely reinvent yourself. This is how you achieve a high degree of mental fortitude in sovereign principalities. Joy makes you spiritually attractive. Your traits truly get magnified in this manner. Joy enhances presence. It is spiritual stability made visible. Joy is not childish. Joy is pristine radiance in self. A joyful man carries calm, resilience, stability, and divine grounding. Joy makes you feel anchored, and anchored men attract trust, respect, and openness from others. Christ radiated truth, purpose, and joy even under pressure. That is presence in its highest form, because joy stabilizes your auroric field, your energetic field, and your spirit. Joy signals internal sovereignty, and joy becomes magnetic when it is rooted in divine harmony instead of your ego. Joy is worship in its highest expression. Joy is not pretending that everything is fine. It is not at all. In fact, it is the opposite. Joy is putting the divine above everything that is not fine. Joy is a declaration. My God, my destiny is bigger than my circumstances. Joy honors God. Joy reveals trust without speaking a word. Choosing joy is choosing God's nature over your narrative. Joy becomes worship when you choose it to honor God, when you let it speak faith on your behalf, and when you lift your spirit towards the divine, even when emotion resists. The metaphysics of Christ's joy. Joy is to the follower of Christ what fire is to the sun, not decoration, but essence. Joy is the natural radiance of a soul aligned with divine purpose. Joy is natural radiance of a soul that is aligned with divine harmony. Christ lives in you. His joy moves through you, and his radiance wants to overflow from you. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any comments or ideas, please leave them, and I will definitely respond back to them. I hope everybody has a good day, good week, good month, good year, and I will see you in the next one.